All right, I'm back. DWood, Holistic Life Coach. This is the Who Am I series, episode 3. If you haven't got to check out episode 1 and 2, please do so on YouTube, DWood, Holistic Life Coach. You can also catch some of the other videos that I post as well. So the second episode was about being your best possible self. I gave you 3 components to that first video. Now I'm going to give you the last 3. Again, this is going to be the last episode of the Who Am I series. So I hope you all have enjoyed it, getting to know me and a little bit about my passion and why I'm out here. So today we're going to talk about reflecting, growing, and performing. If you haven't got to check out the second episode, please do. It's going to be critical to your reflecting part. So when I reflect on who I am and what it takes to be an educator, a leader, a mentor, I need you guys to do the same thing. Whatever it is that you aspire to be in your life, you have to sit and reflect on what it's going to take for you to get there. That's going to lead us into growing. This is where you have to check in with your weaknesses, recognize where your shortcoming is, and don't be ashamed of it. Recognize that, because that is a strength in recognizing and admitting to your weaknesses, because that's what we need to do to move forward. If you haven't got to check out my Instagram page, please follow me, The Real DWood. Today I talked about motivating and moving forward and those failures that we come across and those barriers and challenges that we talk about. We have to face those if we want to be great, if we want to be strong. So 1, you have to believe in yourself. Please believe in yourself during this growing process. Once you believe in yourself, you'll start thinking of all these crazy ideas, all these things that you can do with your passion, with your skills, and everything you plan to do moving forward in your life. All right, that is going to turn into a plan, that is going to turn into a goal, and that is going to turn into you making every day moving forward about this. This is about making every day, every single day, working towards this goal. You have to work towards this goal every single day if you want to be successful, if you want to be the best in what you do. You cannot stop. You cannot hesitate. You cannot let anybody distract you from getting to where you want to be. Let this growing, let that reflecting phase be a strong personal trait that you take on so you can move forward. So let's now get into performing. When you perform, this is your time to show off these skills, all those challenges, all those barriers that you went through. This is the time to show off what came out of that, what you learned from it, how you grew moving forward in this performance stage. You are constantly going to have to assess yourself in order to get better. You're going to have to check yourself and all of your weaknesses and everything that you've done up to this point in order to get better. So this assessment part that I talk about is going to be critical to your performing, because this is where you're going to be able to track any spots that you miss in getting to your goal. So again, assess. I need you guys to reflect, assess, and then perform. Reflect on who you want to be, assess what it takes to get there, assess your weaknesses, check yourself. Don't be afraid to shed light on your shortcomings. That is what you need to work on in order to get to that next level. All right, so again, reflect, assess, and then perform. This performance stage, baby, this is going to be that time where you get to show off all of your skills, everything you've worked towards thus far. All right, so make sure you take this performing stage very critical, because this is the time to show off, be confident, and do what you came here to do. All right, now I gave you all a lot of great information. I gave you 6 components of being your best possible self. I gave you the first 3 in the second episode to the Who Am I series. So if you haven't got to check that one out, please do. We talked about discovering yourself and who you are, thinking about it, and also sketching that out, writing it down, what it means, what it looks like, and what it's going to take to get there. Today, we talked about reflecting, we talked about growing, and then we also talked about performing. So please, when you're going forward in life and moving through these challenges, these struggles, your excellence, your accomplishments, everything that you're proud of, please think about being your best possible self and all these components that I talked about in this Who Am I series. I hope you all have wonderfully enjoyed this. Okay, we also talked about a couple other principles last week that I believe are important in my life, and I think you should implement in your life as well if you want to be successful. All right, it's going to be failure and sacrifice. This is something that many people who are successful, if not everybody, has faced getting to where they are in life. You are going to accept failure because we make mistakes. We don't always figure it out the first time. If so, we would all be experts the first time, all right? We're also going to talk about sacrifices, because sacrifices is something that some of us are uncomfortable with making. But if we want to get to that next step, be different than the person next to us, make those sacrifices. Don't be afraid of failure. Don't be afraid of mistakes. If you are, Please take this time this week to change that way of thinking and figure out how you can move forward and overcome these challenges. All right. I want to talk to you all about one more principle that I believe is going to make you successful, and that's having pride in heart. If you don't have pride in heart in what you do, nobody's going to believe in your product, your service, or whatever it is that you have to offer. You have to be passionate. You have to be prideful. You have to be confident in whatever it is that you're promoting, whatever it is that you're doing. Because when you are, people will follow, and then you will be successful, and then you will be great. And that is what it's going to take. All right. I appreciate all of you for following. I appreciate all of you for listening. Please tune in. DWood Holistic Life Coach on YouTube, The Real DWood on Instagram. I appreciate and love all of you. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you all next time.